Hi everybody, welcome to another edition of RV Tips and Trips. Today I'm going to do a review on the Garmin RV 890 navigation system, GPS for RVs. So a little background on this. I had I'll still do, the Good Sam by Rand McNally. I've had this guy for about 6 years. And it served me well all that time. But it's gotten old, so it's time to replace it. So I have been using this Garmin now for a little over a month. So I have some good experience with it. I'll base my review on my experiences to this point. So I'll go through a quick unboxing, and then we'll get down into the video. All right, look what I got today. A new GPS. This is the Garmin RV 890. So it's a big bad boy. So this is to replace our old Good Sam Rand McNally GPS. Served us faithfully, but it was time for it to go. All right, so there we go. Long overdue. We had our Good Sam GPS, which was made by Rand McNally for I think about 6 years, which was a really long time, especially in the electronics world, when things just well, you know, change all the time, and so you need to keep up with the latest technology. But we got, like I said, it was about 5 or 6 years. The problem with the Rand McNally ones, I liked it, but it was starting to get a little flaky because it was getting old. We had to constantly reset it, and that's what kind of prompted this. And then I didn't realize that the Rand McNally went bankrupt and they got bought out, and so they're not making GPS for RVs anymore. So I wouldn't recommend buying the Rand McNally, because there's still Rand McNally GPSs out there for RVs, because you might not get any support on it. The maps on our Good Sam Rand McNally RV GPS had lifetime maps. Well, lifetime maps is only good for as long as the company's still in business, or I actually read the fine print, lifetime for as long as the product is still considered viable. So it means lifetime map upgrades for the life of the GPS unit and not your life. So that's how that went. So anyway, we were using our GPS, and a lot of the road configurations have changed, and I kept plugging it into the Rand McNally app on the computer, and it said it was up to date, but the GPS kept saying these maps are out of date by over a year. They stopped updating the maps over a year ago, and I didn't even realize it. So no good, because a lot of the configurations of the highways and exits have changed. So now, hopefully with this, we'll be good to go again. All right, so let's get down into it. We'll quick unbox it. Kind of do this one-handed. There's the unit itself. There's the dash mount with the window, big suction cup there. So you get a little closer view on these things. Charging cable for in the car. Then they got another one for the computer, and then a ball mount with screw holes in it. This way you can actually just screw it right down onto the dash rather than using the suction cup. And then this is to be used with the universal mounts. All right, and then of course an instruction booklet. So let's peel this off real quick. So this guy is pretty big, a little bigger than our Good Sam one was. So this is 8 inches across. So they make a bigger one. It's 10 inches. I think that's getting a bit much. So this has all the latest and greatest technology built into it. So it's supposed to be pretty quick, quicker than previous models. So it doesn't take very long to calculate new routes. Responds to voice commands. And they've been doing the voice commands on these things for a while now, except that these are better at recognizing your voice. So, all right, so this is a really, really beefy mount that this comes with. It's magnetic, so we can just, wow, woo, pretty strong magnet too. Holy cow. Wow, really strong. So this unit weighs about 2 pounds. I don't think I'd mount it very high up on the windshield. Test this later. This pivots. I don't like that. Well, let's see if it's got enough juice to power on. I haven't charged it or anything. It's probably the first thing you should be doing is charging it. And yep, that's what I need to do. I need to charge it. All right, so one of the nice things about this is the magnetic mount. So I mean, this is a really powerful magnet on the back side here, and all you got to do is just get it close, and it just pulls itself right on there, and it is real firm. Now the mount, this pivots. There's a nut back here that you loosen, and this sits on a ball head, and you can rotate this around. I got it locked into position now. The suction cup right up here is real beefy. And I'll tell you, I stuck it up there once, and it has stayed put through a lot of extreme heat, and that it's on there firm. So, all right, so we just pop that guy right on there. Yeah, pretty awesome. One of the really nice things about this is that screen is real bright. So right now I'm sitting in the truck. It's not a real sunny day right now. It's kind of rainy and stuff, but real easy to see. Big advantage on my Good Sam McNally GPS. It was difficult to see in the sunlight. The sunlight would obliterate it, but not a problem with this Garmin. Just a super bright display. I have it set on automatic, so as it gets dark, it dims. The display is 8 inches across, so it does take up a fair amount of room on the dash. Some people may be concerned about it obstructing their view. I haven't found it to be a problem. The other thing is, you know, it's not really much bigger than my the Rand McNally was, because if I stick that right up here, they're close in size. The Garmin's just slightly bigger, so it doesn't take up any more real estate on my dashboard than my old Good Sam unit. So big plus. is that we've got a really bright display, easy to sun. I don't have to try and shield it. No shields are necessary. It's great. Like a nice and clear display. All right, so first thing you do is, of course, you want to set her up. So you hit settings. Power button's on the left side right up here. So here we'll... All right, so we're going to start from fresh. Now this, of course, has already been set up in that to my Wi-Fi and to the Bluetooth on my smartphone. If you want to have traffic reports and get weather and fuel prices, you will need to have your smartphone connected. And there's an app that you would get, the Google Play Store for Android, and that would be the Drive app. So you definitely need that to link your Garmin GPS with your smartphone so you can get up-to-date traffic and weather and gasoline prices. All right, so to power it on, you push the button over here. Okay, and agree. All right, so you would go into your settings. And wireless networks. And then you got your Wi-Fi. And right now it's connected to the Wi-Fi on my phone. I have my phone set to a mobile hotspot. Then your Bluetooth, you should have your Bluetooth paired to it as well, because you can receive and make calls through your Garmin, totally hands-free as well. So that's a real nice feature. So we are connected. So that's the first thing you do. Pair up your Wi-Fi and your Bluetooth. All right, so now once you have your hotspot and your Bluetooth paired up with your cell phone, next thing to do is to tell the GPS about your rig. So you notice up in the upper right hand corner it shows a car. That's the mode it's in as far as what it's planning on the routes with. So we want to use our fifth wheel. I already have it programmed in, but we can edit this. And you would pop in the height of the fifth wheel, its width, the overall length with the tow vehicle and the trailer, your gross combined weight, and the maximum speed that you would normally travel at. Excuse me. And then it will calculate your route and figure how long it will take to get there based on the information that you have provided. So let's go back one. Well, and whether you, I thought I missed that, and whether you got propane tanks, which I don't know why it says none. Let's go. Add tank. We have two 30-pound tanks. Okay. Oh, I was surprised that I didn't have that in there. Okay, it's important. And then the gross trailer weight by itself. All right, now we got everything in there. We can back up, and it's all set. So fifth wheel, and then hit select. And now it will route everything based on what we inputted on the trailer and the tow vehicle. Important to get that set up correctly. This way you can be sure that it's not going to route you through bridges and tunnels where you're too tall or anything, or if there's propane restrictions. So it'll figure that out too. Then you want to check for any updates. And everything is up to date. Nice thing about this is you can update your map and your software on here through your mobile hotspot on your phone. So you could just leave this in your truck, no problem. So we just checked and it's all good. Back up. And now you can set up your driver alerts and navigation preferences, navigation avoidances, and then you just check off the things that you want to avoid. So there's definitely carpool lanes you want to avoid, and I left everything else alone. Hit OK. You got custom stuff, areas or certain roads if you want to avoid those, not a problem. Toll roads I have set to avoid. Some tolls can get mighty expensive when you're pulling a trailer because they'll charge you by the axle. Alright, and then we got our calculation mode set for the fastest time. Minimizes the driving time. We don't have it set for off-road at all. Okay, and back out of there. Nice thing too is you can use your finger and just scroll through everything. Driver alerts, custom POIs, that's points of interest. You can see where the red light cameras are, preview your route, which I have enabled. Brake planning, if you go here, I got it turned on. It'll just remind you, hey, maybe it's time for you to take a break if you've been driving for a long time. So, pretty cool. I'm not going to go through everything. Notifications, volume levels, your display brightness level. I got adaptive brightness, I think is the best way to go. Time, units, miles, or meters. I got it set for time for automatic time zones and in a 12-hour format. And we'll back out of here. All right, so if you want to search for campgrounds, these are shortcuts here. You got a trip planner, you save trips. So you'll see I got imported trips, save trips here. We'll just import that. That was already imported and is downloaded. Now this I set up, and that's just a preview of one of my trips. Now I laid the trip out actually on the Good Sam Club website. They have a trip planner on there, and you can lay out your whole route on the Good Sam website and then download the file. It downloads it as a GPX file. When I had my Good Sam Rand McNally, Good Sam had a deal with Rand McNally, and then Rand McNally broke that relationship, and then of course Rand McNally went bankrupt in that. So, and then they got bought out. So that, but these GPX files that you download are compatible with Garmin. So, and that's how you do that. Real easy process. Do it on the computer, lay out my plan, download the GPX file, and then download it onto the Garmin. So, pretty cool. And then this shows you all the places and the time that it'll take to get from here to here. All right. Hit where to. You can see fuel prices. Now you gotta have your Drive app turned on your phone. And it's not, I didn't turn it on. So it's called Drive. There, now they just connected. Now let me show you what the Drive app looks like here. We'll get out of there. I have it right. Whoops. There it is, right here. And then it shows that it's connected. All right, and it shows you the prices of the gas stations nearby. The green are the better prices. Red is not so great. And you can scroll down that way, or you can scroll down that way. And it shows you how far it is. Whoop. Incoming phone call. You can answer it right there. I decline. And then we can hit that. You can get information about the gas station, phone number, the price, the best routes to get there. Pretty cool. And then you can just hit go. You can search for campgrounds. The ultimate public campgrounds are things like state parks, county parks, national forests, national parks, things like that. So the ultimate campgrounds. So there's a city park 32 miles away. Get information on it. Hour drive. Shows you the total amount of sites, how many electric, water, RV dump, showers, flush toilets, laundries. Shows you the prices. Wow. So they got 94 full hookup sites. Hit go and go there. Shows you on the map where they are. 1, 2, 3, 4. So. Weather for the current location. 81 degrees. Look at this. Thunder showers every day. Well, we're in South Carolina, so I guess that's to be expected, I guess. One of the really nice features I like about this too is you can toggle between an RV and then there's a car mode. So if you go into car mode, it just warns you that it won't obey the motorhome trailer profiles. And you hit select, and now it will route differently than if you were in the RV mode. So pretty cool. If you touch here, there's apps. This can actually work just like a tablet. You got navigation stuff, photo cameras. You can actually view cameras, live cameras on the road, traffic. Right now there's no traffic warnings nearby. Weather radar, things like that. And then under tools, you got a web browser. And if you like things like Gas Buddy, you can go there. So it works just like a regular tablet. Well, that's pretty awesome. And then I got my RV parky also. So now you don't have to try and find things on your phone while driving down the road. Nice thing about this too is I can just go ahead, take this off, hand it to Kathy, and then she can do searches while I'm driving. So, pretty cool. Alright, so let's get out of here. Hit the circle here to come out of that and back to the main screen. Now, if there was a map update or software update available, this notification bar here would change. Well, let's go into the map. All right, so you can, and I love this feature, you can change the what the tabs display. So if I don't care about displaying the current time, because I have that on my radio, I could just change it. Press there, and then I could have it tell me what the elevation is. Anything that's green is what you can make it. Distance traveled on your trip, average speeds, things like that. So you can change the function. So here we just do that. And now shows distance traveled. So if this brings up the additional information. You can also do the same thing on here. Touch that and you can change the function of that tab. So you can really customize this. So it's really cool. And if you don't want to display all that, you can just X that out. This shows you quick shortcuts to like restaurants nearby. And TripAdvisor, if they're rated by them, will show up on here. So pretty awesome. Alright. But let's face it, if you're driving down the road, you don't want to be touching the screen constantly. So this has another great feature, and that would be voice control. So, and I found that it responds to voice control pretty good in most cases, not all. So you would say, okay, Garmin, find restaurants.
Which result would you like?
3.
Go into Cavalier Bar and Grill on South Jacob Smart Boulevard in Ridgeland, South Carolina.
Now you notice the speech on the Garmin.
Please drive to highlighted route.
The speech on the Garmin is very clear, easy to understand, and I have the volume cranked up all the way, so when I'm driving down the road, it overcomes road noise. You can give it voice commands to increase volume, decrease volume. Okay, Garmin, volume level 6. And it reduced the volume level. Okay, Garmin, volume level 10. And you'll see that little bar went up. Okay. Okay, Garmin, cancel route.
Okay, route canceled.
Okay, Garmin, find Walmart.
Which result would you like?
3.
Going to Walmart Supercenter on Roberts Mills Parkway in Beaufort, South Carolina.
And you can find things like rest stops. Okay, Garmin, find rest stops.
Which result would you like?
2. Start new route.
Going to rest area in Hardyville, South Carolina. Please drive to highlighted route.
Okay, Garmin, cancel. Oh, now you got to be very specific. Okay, Garmin, cancel route.
Okay, route canceled.
And you can find things like gas stations. Okay, Garmin, find gas stations.
Which result would you like?
Cancel. Or you can find specific fast food. Okay, Garmin, find McDonald's.
Which result would you like?
And there you go. Cancel. So real handy, these voice commands. And like I said, it does a pretty darn good job of recognizing the commands. You can also find campgrounds by voice command. Okay, Garmin, find the Oaks at South Point.
Which result would you like?
And I even said it wrong and it found it. 2.
Going to Oaks at Point South RV on Campground Road in Yemassee, South Carolina.
Boy, am I glad that I did the trip planner on the Good Sam website. Otherwise, I would not have realized that we had a problem and that we couldn't go through that bridge and tunnel. And if we go to the map, oh, tells you to select the next destination because we're in the route. Let's just do this. I just want to bring up the map. And so if we do this, I'll show you the deal here. RV Parky was taking us up this way because we're going to go to Virginia Landing, which is right there. And there's the bridge and tunnel that we would have gone through. Except for we wouldn't fit. So that would have been a disaster. Last minute, all of a sudden, driving down the highway, and then big signs saying what the height restriction is, and that we would have to exit off in a congested area because, look at that. I mean, that's Virginia Beach. This is going to be a really congested area across the Chesapeake Bay. So as you can see, the GPS in the trip planner routed us around this way, where RV Parky had us going up this way. So, boy, I'm glad we caught it now, so I can rearrange our campsites, our campgrounds. So that's one of the real advantages of having a RV specific GPS. Real glad. So as far as the trip planner, you can do things a couple different ways. One by doing or using online RV trip planners, like this one here is Good Sam's, and you can construct a trip designed around an RV. The Good Sam app seems to be a little more on the simple side from what it was years ago. It doesn't show estimated costs or anything for fuel. It used to, but not anymore. And then there's another real popular app right now that a lot of people are using, is the RV Trip Wizard. And it's got just about every campground there is in there, so that it works pretty well. And then once you've laid out your trips, you would then download them in what's called GPX files. Now, the one thing I noticed with the Good Sam one is once you go past about maybe 5 stops on the trip, it won't load up onto the Garmin at all. Can't get it to work. So if you plan a trip with only a few stops, then it works fine. But anything beyond that, I can't get it to upload onto the Garmin. The RV Trip Wizard, what it does is it takes all of your stops that you've planned and labels them with stop 1, 2, 3, 4, and uploads that onto your Garmin, and they're saved each stop. So not as a trip, and I'll show you that in a minute. So it saves each stop, but then there doesn't seem to be a limit as to how many stops I can put on there. And then the other way is just to build a trip on the Garmin unit itself. Alright, so RV Trip Wizard, once you upload the file onto the Garmin, you will find that it put it in your saved locations, hit all saved places, and you'll see your trip is basically in here, but it's not in the correct order. You'll see down here 1, 2, 3, 4, but then there's another number exactly with where the location is. So this would be the correct order: 2, the Sycamore Lodge, there 3, Whispering Pines, and 4, Lake Gaston, and so on and so forth. I got like 30 stops programmed in here, and they're saved as favorites in the Garmin, and so then you just select the correct ones. Okay. Sometimes when you mention the name of the GPS, it thinks you're talking to it. So, all right. So this is all you would do. You would say, okay, so if Sycamore Lodge is your next stop, you would just touch it. It says number 2, and hit go. And it's a 4-hour drive.
Please drive to highlighted route.
And then what you can do is you can delete those one by one as you've visited that place. So so not bad. So on my next stop, I'll hit number 3, which is that one, which actually lists as the first one. So, but it works. Like I said, with the Sam's one, you have to do them in short files, otherwise it won't work at all. And that's the only two apps that I have any experience with working on with the Garmin GPS. And then of course you can plan a trip. Let me get out of here. Here's your trip planner page. All you would have to do is hit new trip, select the starting location, select that, and then a final destination, and you can search by campground names and stuff. Let's just do this. And it brings up the list. Select it. So now you got a starting point and an ending point, and now you can add locations in between and kind of work things that way. So, and then save it. And you can call it something, test, and then done. And then you'll find it under Save Trips, right there. I like that. That looks like a photograph. So you know what it looks like. So far, they seem to match up.
Take exit 8 on the right to US 278 East, then take the first left. Turn left on US 278 East.
Yeah. Okay. Nice thing too is, because this is so easily removed, you might want to take it off your dash when you're not in the vehicle. But I would highly recommend getting a case. I had this case kicking around. It used to be for a cell phone with all of its accessories, but this happens to fit in there. So it protects it. So you might want to get something similar to that. And now I just stick this under the seat of the truck, out of sight, out of mind. Great way to go. All right, so all in all, I think the Garmin RV 890 is a real good value. Boy, it's a giant leap forward from my old good Zamp RV GPS, that's for sure. I'm glad I finally did it. I really procrastinated for a long time because I didn't want to spend the dough. But you know what? Sometimes you just have to break down and do it. So it seems to work very good. Like I said, I've now been using it for at least 6 weeks. I use it at every opportunity just so we can test it fully, make sure that it does everything that I want it to, and it does. And so when we get to a place, I put it in car mode and use it to navigate around the surrounding areas of the campground that we're at. And then when we are on the road with the trailer, then I put it into RV mode. So I give this a big thumbs up. It works well. I do all my trip planning on the RV Trip Wizard, which you do pay for that service, by the way. So but it's worth it. And then it programs it into your Garmin as all these individually saved favorite places numbered for the proper sequence, and that seems to work out pretty good. The RV Trip Wizard I highly recommend getting as well to work as a companion program with your Garmin. and it shows estimated costs, and you can research each campground. There's information in there on each one, so it works out well. I like it. Makes planning a lot easier. All right, so it gets my seal of approval. All right, until next time, we'll catch you again in a few days. Happy camping. Bye now. Thomas says thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like and share. Until next time, happy camping.